What are the EU spaceflight ambitions?
Yes, so I will answer that question and go a bit beyond to put some arguments that I think needs to be voiced. So if you consider human spaceflight in Europe, historically, Europe has always been a follower. So human spaceflight up to today has mostly been the International Space Station program, and we've been following NASA and the Russians, and we've adopted their technologies, to be honest, and we just wanted to be part of the game. Human spaceflight, I think, in Europe is suffering from the political view of it, which is politicians tend to see it as a sexy way to sell space, but in practice, it is very marginalized. So I don't know of any nation that considers human spaceflight as being a core element of space. For them, the core element of space is secure communication and intelligence gathering for space, things like that. But human spaceflight is the least of their worries, unfortunately. In that context, the European Space Agency has done a lot of effort, though, to pull up a vision for decades, like for at least 15 years, to put a vision for Europe to go to the moon. So beyond the ISS, like, we learn things on the ISS, and we expand that, we extrapolate, and we're gonna send Europeans to the moon, and we build a moon village and things like that. And they have been failing to sell that vision to the politicians in Europe. At least they failed to sell it in a way that we have to go on our own. So if you don't go on your own, you go with the best partner, which is somehow the US. So it does work well in the ISS, I think. Now Artemis comes in. Artemis is the manned mission to the moon.
What is the Europe's role in the Artemis program?
We build half of the Orion spacecraft, which will ferry astronauts to the lunar orbit. We built 2 modules for the Gateway, which is an orbiting space station that will be around the moon, and we would do an habitation module and a refueling module and a few elements like communications and radiation sensing there. But the big caveat in this is that the Artemis program is first and foremost a geopolitical program that is answering US defense needs, which is not the case at all, that not the vision shared by Europe in any manner. So basically, how Artemis came to friction, to life, it's a motivation of a fear of the Americans when they saw the advance of the Chinese on the moon, when they started to land on the backside of the moon. They started to actually land radioisotope generators. So and the Department of Defense in the US started to make a parallel between what China is doing in the South China Sea illegally, and they thought, oh, they're going to do the same on the moon, and they might build a base, and they might conquer the moon, they might attack us from there. And I'm not kidding, huh? It's really the American military doctrine. And so the Artemis program came. Yeah, we have to go back to the moon. We have to control what's happening there, and we will put a surface of it saying it's for science and stuff. But the reality is totally otherwise. They just want to keep the Chinese out of it and make sure they control it. So when Europe joined Artemis, for us, the moon, what it is for us, it's still the final frontier of space where we can do a lot of science, exploration, and we maybe find some economic value of resources to be traded to Earth. But this ambition, this ideal, is unfortunately it's smaller than the big American defense budget beyond the Artemis mission. So we have our place in that program is, it's nice to be a partner, okay, to join us, because it's expensive to go out on our own. But ultimately, this is a mission that is serving US geopolitical ambition, not European ambition. And so I am, and I think the industry in general in Europe, including our competitor Thales, are advocating a true European ambition to the moon. The first step to that was the approval last year of the EL3 lander, which is a lander that is fully European, to provide independent access to the moon for Europeans, to see the surface and see what we can do later, and maybe we send people later. And that's the first step, and that's definitely the step we should definitely dig on, because, as I said, Artemis is serving only US interest.